Well, hey, it's Dr. Stan Harris with another edition of How to Make an Extra 9K to 90K in 90 days or less. And I've got a special guest, so you want to stay tuned in. By the way, I always give a disclaimer as Dr. Breakthrough. I can't provide a breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. But when you follow the breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides a breakthrough you desire and deserve. And a breakthrough, it's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. It's like that caterpillar, slow moving on the ground. But guess what? It eventually turns into a beautiful butterfly flowing freely through the sky. And I believe somebody is going to get free today. So, our special guest today, oh my goodness, he's an author, multiple author. He's a publisher. He's a speaker. He's, well, the brother like no other. As a matter of fact, he's been called, get this now, an authority impact strategist. I was like, woo, Dr. Smiley, AKA, but actually Dr. Ken Rochon. Now listen, he has the authorathon. I could go on and on and on. And he's also a very loving and kind man. Took time out of his schedule. Say, you know what, Dr. Breakthrough, I'd love to be part of this, help empower some people. Doc, good to have you, buddy.
I can't believe you don't have a billion people on here saying they can't help someone make $9 more in a month. I mean, this is easy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, in summertime, there's usually a little dip in, especially people in the home-based business, whatever else, and people taking breaks. And so I just wanted to make sure that the folks that want to be focused, that they can accelerate, right? So I always say one thing better than AI is IA, and IA stands for inspired action. So I got the idea one day, bam, put up a free Facebook group and said, let me just give back and bless people. And I started teaching on this. I was like, you know what? I've got a bunch of friends that have different expertise in different areas. So let me bring them as well. And so, of course, had to bring you, my man, because the smile alone, I make somebody extra 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less. Doc, the question is simple. Have you ever had a chance or time in your life, and I'm sure you've had many times, when you've made at least an extra 9K to 90K in 90 day or less period?
Of course, many times. And by the way, it's funny you start with a smile because a smile actually causes people to say, I want to know more about you, but more importantly, you care about me and you are attracting the fact that you want to do business with me because you like me. And the no like and trust, I think that's baloney, by the way. I just want to say that. It's not that
It's your interview. You can say what you want, buddy.
well, no like and trust, there's nothing about that. That's like, do you eat, drink, and pee? I mean, we all so we know a lot of people, we like a lot of people, we trust a lot of people, but who we really love are people that care about us. And who
Mm,
we love are people that show they care about us. They actually demonstrate it. And so that comes through inspiration, that comes through social proof. And you being on the authorathon, the smileathon, and all these other things, you have brought so much validity to my vision. And that is actually the social proof. So in answering your question, how are you smiling and creating smiles, and how are you proving from other people that it does happen? And you smile when a good deal happens, right?
yes.
If you spend $1,000 and you make more than 1,000, you're smiling. If you spend $100,000 and you're smiling, good things happen. And that's the art of, are you actually committed to creating smiles? Because if you have a bad deal, but you're committed to the smiles, it means you're going to make it a good deal. You're going to make it a
Mm,
good because you care about that deal happening, right? So that's one way.
wow, that's good. As a matter of fact, every day of my life, I always say everything good that can happen will happen, and it will happen at the best possible time, even though I may not always recognize it at that time. Right?
100%.
I think it was Zig that always said that, it's your attitude that determines it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. And man, you're living proof of that. And so again, so for our listeners, so share with us a few times or what industries or strategy or whatever would that happen for you where you've made an extra either 9K, 90K or more in 90 days or less, just to share some of those things.
So this might be a more bizarre interview because I don't think it's as calculated as it is about playing big. So if you want to play big, that's your question. How can I play bigger? Give you an example. I said I want to go to 100 countries. Now that's a crazy thing. Does it mean it's going to make you more money? If you got $2,000 in your back pocket and you want to go to 100 countries, I guarantee it's not enough money. So you go to a country and you learn something about the people that succeed in that country because you're on a ship. And the person on the ship says, I've made billions of dollars. Read this book. It'll change your life. Boom. I come back from that country, but more the ship from a person that showed me how to read a book and make a difference. And so to give you a quick answer to your question in the beginning, I went thinking a man can only make no more than $10,000 as a DJ. Now, by the way, a DJ making $10,000, that's actually pretty good ching back in 1980, just so we're clear. I went on a cruise in 1990 thinking that's the cap. I met a person, he said, read this book, do this, do this. I did it, $20,000 the next month.
Come on now.
And my point is, if you read and you apply what you read, if it's actually a winning formula,
Right,
and you believe in it, it will cause a shift in what you make. Can I give you one more example?
please, please.
Okay.
What you want?
Have you ever heard of landmark education?
Yes.
Okay. I went there around the same time as I started cruising. And they said the limited beliefs you have is because you don't create the possibilities you want to have in your life. And so I created this possibility of double again. Now, this is crazy because at 20, how do you get to 40? Well, it's not more conversations, it's better conversations with better people.
Ooh.
In 20 days, I'm in actually 30 days, it was 30 days. I went from 20 to $42,000 a month.
Wow, wow.
This is selling DJ. Just so we're clear, it's not even what I'm doing right now. But back then, I learned what
Right.
you're talking about here is a mind shift of applying new actions, new people, new ideology, new methodology, and believing it can happen and letting it happen. Letting it happen.
Well, man, and I love what you're saying because you didn't work harder, you worked smarter, right? And that's leverage. That's powerful. By the way, my acronym for READ, since you mentioned READ, right? READ, receive education or empowerment, answers distinction. And so Charlie Tremendous Jones, one of my main mentors back in the day,
Boom.
yeah, he said every reader is not a leader, but every leader is a reader, right? And I think it was Robert Kiyosaki that said, the way you stand up in life is based on you stand on the books and the education that you've received. And by the way, my acronym for books, BOOKS, break through obstacles, optimize knowledge successfully. So people like you that are reading books, and here's a person again that was making a lot more money than you said, here's a book, read it, right? Again, breakthrough obstacles, optimize knowledge successfully. This multi-billionaire flew my wife and I out to talk about working with his company and potentially speaking with his company and so forth. And so I asked him, I said, we were having a conversation. I said, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. I said, I teach a lot on a millionaire mind. What's the difference between a millionaire mind and a billionaire mind? Well, he said to me, I've never had anybody ask me that question. He says, I don't know, but I can tell you one thing for sure. And I said, what's that? He said, as a millionaire, I read Think and Grow Rich 2 or 3 times. He said, as a billionaire, I've read it 80 times. I said, well, the same book 80 times. And literally, that's where it hit me. You have to read the book until you become the book. Because again, Dr. Ken, some people are just real quick reading through it and they're not really absorbing or implementing. But like you said, the guy told you read the book and do what it says. And when you did that, you got the benefit. Do you mind, by the way, sharing what the book is? And if not, we'll move on.
Oh no, I'm happy to. E-Myth was one of them.
Okay, email. Wow,
Yep.
I remember that.
And even though Tipping Point happened much later, that was another book that
Oh
signified
man,
it.
that's another good one. Right?
And Ogmandino, the greatest salesman in the world,
That,
and Man
that's
from
the
Babylon. Man
hey,
from
that
Babylon.
changed my. Oh yeah, my wife's reading that one now, but that changed my life too, man. Yeah.
You know, if you had asked me the question you asked that man, you said, "Can I ask you a question?" I would have said, "You did. Do you have another?"
Wow, 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 man, that's amazing. So
Always, can I ask you 2 questions? Because when they say you did, you say no, but I still have one more.
there you go. So do you mind if I ask you a few more questions?
I would, I would love it because you ask great questions and you care about great answers.
Awesome, my friend. Well, we've got some people I think that are hungry. They understand because we've taught many, many times that it's not about the money per se. It's about what the money allows people to do. And the way you get the money is by always bringing value. And Doc, that's what you've mastered. I just noticed it seems like everything you do, everybody you're connected with, you're always seeing how you could be like a servant leader and how you could add value. And I think that's one of the secrets, if you please, that most people are missing out on. They get so quote unquote money hungry that they're missing the thing that creates the money. And when you create the money by adding value, you really can't stop. And like you said, the number gets bigger and bigger. But you've been giving us some great tidbits, man. Keep on.
Well, thank you. To your Napoleon Hill point, Think and Grow Rich, he took that job for free. Okay. And are you willing to prove your value so great that you will work for free until you prove your value is greater than free? That's a great question. If your service is so great, will you hand the pink spoon of the Baskin Robbins ice cream and say, try it? Because you'll like it so much, you're going to get the scoop. So I'm just a believer, Stan, that if you're starting something new, don't sell it. Find out if it's valuable. It's a very strange thing, but I actually I bought 2 cameras for 25,000.
Wow.
And my wife wanted to kill me. I mean, just kill me. I mean, just kill. Because I was a DJ. You understand, a DJ does not have a camera that's 25,000.
Exactly. Like, what is
it? So God told me, capture what inspires you, and it will take you where you want to go. I mean, it was that clear.
Oh, wait. You said that too fast. Slow down. Say it again, because I know people trying to write that down. Capture
what inspires you, and it will take you where you want to go. And I'm by Stan. I mean, we've known each other over a year texting, and I'm meeting you. I'm flying to meet you. And you do know that if you said we're meeting at Popeyes, I'm flying to Popeyes to meet you. You have made such a difference in my life, Stan. And when you text me, you said, can it be this other place? Because this other place is where it would work for me. I said, yes, of course. I mean, we were done with that conversation. You know that, right? It was not a deliberation. You caused so many ripple effects, and that's value. I don't even get how big your mind is that you give so much you never calculate. You are the most unconditional giver. And that is actually the secret of 9K to 90 or 90K and 90. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's unlimited. When you give so much, it's going to come back if you give it to the right people. But if you don't give it to the right people, you'll learn which people to give to. It's okay not to give to the right people. You'll learn which ones to give to. Have I not praised you? I praised you for how much? And I praised you with value. I praised you with how can I reciprocate? How can I serve? Give and it comes back. And I'm not talking about stupid. I'm saying give like an entrepreneur that knows value will come back to you because you give so much value to who you want to. And by the way, scholarship people, if someone's hurting, scholarship them, you have no idea what they will do for you because they were bleeding or they never had anyone believe in them, and they bring it back like 100-fold. Forget about 10-fold, 100-fold. You saw me hurting and you said, I will open the gates of who needs to be on your show. I'll never forget that, Stan. Never forget it. So look to be the problem solution person. Wow. Problem, solution, done. And you will never, ever be hungry, ever.
Wow.
And by the way, there's SPH, smiles per hour. But there's also how many solutions are you creating for problems that exist? And you will multiply. Ooh. So God bless you for this, brother.
Wow. Man, thank you. You're giving such powerful information because I put on Facebook the other day, stop using people to build your business and get a business that will build people. See, instead of using people to build your business, use your business to build people. When you build people, people now can build the business they can build. But then not only that, they feel this affinity toward you because you're the one that helped them to bring out their greatness, to help, mature them and so forth. And that's what you do, Kim, with all you do with your author-a-thon, your smile-a-thon, and all the different things that you're constantly doing to make a difference in people's lives and your publishing company. I mean, how many people's books have you helped publish?
Almost 700.
What? Whoa.
And by the way, some of them I did for free because I wanted to see if I could do it. I wanted to see if I could help them. And it comes back. If you can reverse something, I saw this guy who had a hat and it said, art is life. And I said, but to you is life art. and I meant from a standpoint, is that your book? Is that who you want to be in the world? And, service. Are you serving people so people can serve you? Like, it's just a reciprocal. And by the way, it's always like the pendulum. When you see our politics, and I'm not going there. Okay, we're not going there. I'm just saying, when you see our politics, when it goes crazy one way, does it not come back the other way? It always comes back. Yep. Because the further you push the craziness, the more it has to come back to not crazy.
Exactly. Yep.
So if you are committed to your business, push as hard as you can to serve the community, and the community will push back hard as they can to serve you.
Wow, that's powerful. You know,
I'll just say one more thing. I know you're about to chop, but if you see your community has problems like philanthropy or American Heart Association or ALS or whatever it is, what can your business do to share that that problem does not need to exist? And your brand goes with it, and the brand causes the brand to say that brand cares. It's a big deal.
wow, wow. So now, Dr. Ken, I know you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. So,
I was right next to you.
so just so people get a little perspective, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, sometimes all people do is hear the glory, but they don't understand behind the glory, there's always a story. And sometimes the story gets a little gory, a little too gory to even tell sometimes. But just share a little bit. I mean, did you come up in a real good home, being empowered from the time you're a little baby, and you just always just believe you could be successful? I mean, just a little bit of your background.
I will do that. And by the way, this is one of the first times I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to do it for you.
Okay.
So I had a good home because Uncle Sam gave it to my dad. Okay.
Hmm.
So I wasn't hurting, but my dad didn't, he was the first person to go to college, period. And that's a big thing because when your dad goes to college and he goes to be an officer, it's a new way of thinking. But he didn't understand what entrepreneurism was. And no fault to him, but he did not get me. And if he did, I'd probably be a billionaire. Seriously. Because I treat my son, who's right here, like he's going to be a future billionaire. And he may not be, but he has a better chance because I'm treating him that way.
There you go.
He looks at life as there's no limit. My dad said, get a job and work not for the man, but work for the government. Work for the teach, be the teacher, be something stable. And he did not get that. Does not match me. It doesn't match me. It doesn't match you either. Like Stan, you don't even get why that would be. Why would that be that you would work for someone else to make them great when you don't see them listening to you about how they could be greater? That's the problem. By the way, you can work for someone if they listen to you, but a person that doesn't understand an entrepreneur, they can't listen to be greater. And by the way, Dr. Stan,
Yes, sir.
we have so many great things to do because we understand each other. And that's the other thing. Who are you with that understands you, that will grow with you? That's
Ooh.
probably the biggest piece. Because if you're not with people that get you, they probably are not with you.
Mm.
They
Wow.
can't because they don't get you. And by the way, if you want a great relationship with someone, get them, like understand them, ask them. And by the way, the customer that could be the most heated customer ever, get them and they will not get at you. They will get that you care and they will shift and they will say, this is what I need. And they might be your biggest cheerleader. That's the craziest thing of all.
Wow.
But you have to actually say, I care. And wow, care is such a crazy one. I have a book next to me, and I didn't think it was going to come up. But this young man here, Brandon Gadoris, the care principle. I'm going to tell you what, this dude understands care. He's a wonderful speaker. I'm going to connect you to him later, Stan. I'm going to tell you why. You have the same heart he does.
Oh,
I serve my audience, and no one in my audience will not be served.
mm.
Period. So, this is late for Dr. Smiley. I mean, we're in the East Coast over here. You got a Dr. Smiley's got to give at 4 o'clock in the morning. But when you told me I had the opportunity to be on the show with you, it was my way of saying, one, yes, because I don't want to say no to a friend. But number two, I want to say yes because you were saying you believe in me. And that's what you have to do in business. If you want 9K more, when are you saying yes when it could be a hard yes? It's a hard yes to say, but you say yes. That could be the 9K. And by the way, there's some people that hear that and they say, wow, I know that was hard for him.
Mm.
I'm all in.
Wow. Wow. So, Doc, one of my prayers every day is, Lord, I thank you that you're giving me the connections, the grace, the favor, the wisdom, the wherewithal to empower those under my jurisdiction and beyond to experience breakthroughs that would please you, profit them, and cause my family and I to prosper. And so I believe that sets me up to look for, again, the people that we can serve. But going back to your dad, so you had a decent and great upbringing, but the difference was, though, but your dad was set on you just working like for the government.
Because he was being a
And
good
this,
dad. Yeah.
you had this entrepreneur spirit where you were like a screw trying to go into a square. You're like, this ain't fitting. I got to go, Dad. And that must have been frustrating.
I wish it was that easy for me to actually assimilate right now. I'm telling you, back then I just was like, what's wrong with me? My brother and sister never get in trouble. I get in trouble all the time. I cannot not get in trouble. I was the Tom Sawyer, always doing something wrong. And
Because
you
you were
know,
adventurous. You're trying to create and trying to push the boundaries and trying to discover. And
yeah, I'll say an entrepreneur in a childhood is a rebel. They're trying to figure out why things don't work and why they could make it work, but they break things. They want to see how much something can break before it actually lives bigger. And then as they get more mature or they become a servant of God, they understand that that breaking is disrupting for good.
wow.
Big difference.
Yeah. I always say it this way. I'm outside the box, but inside the kingdom. Right? Because I'm like, I just never fit, y'all. I just can't.
Oh,
I can't.
by
I
the way,
can't.
you want to see something fun?
What's that?
This is not for you, bro. You think this is for you, but this is not for you. This this has been shown twice today on shows.
Oh wow.
Not your show. This is your show. This has been shown because it's next to me and it serves me because you serve.
Hmm.
And you don't need to read a book to know that's a great book when the man who wrote it is a great man
Wow.
and great woman. So I got to tell you, I just care about you. So I actually brand whenever I can because you can't be here next to me all the time, but this can.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that. And you've been giving my audience just some crazy, crazy value, folks. I hope you picking up what he's dropping because he's dropping like gold nuggets, little smile nuggets everywhere. So I know it's again we would come to a close here soon. So can you just want to leave some folks with some just whatever comes to mind, some things that can help the folks and encourage them. I mean, what you've given already is like way and beyond. But is there anything else that maybe you want to leave?
I do. I'll leave with the reiteration of what I said earlier today. Your SPH.
Mm,
So your miles per hour. If you are not living a high level of smiles per hour, and by the way, the average child lives 400 smiles a day, average adult 40. So we're living 1/10. Why is that? Because a child lives in wonder. An entrepreneur that's serving the world or God or both should be living in wonder. That should be 400 or more smiles per hour. I challenge anyone listening. How much are you checking on gratitude? Because if you're not checking on gratitude, you're missing out on what the smiles per hour is about. And
mm.
most importantly, that if you're not in gratitude, you're not in creation because it's actually causing you to see that creation is good for you. So, Stan, I could not be happier to be on this show to share that it is about the 90K of the 9K. It's about those numbers being bigger so you can do more and give more. But it's about being more because you'll get it. You'll just get it.
Wow, exactly. Yeah, I think it was I was traveling and speaking with Jim Rohn, and he said he made this famous. He said a formal education will help you make a living, but personal education and personal development will help you make a fortune. And because he's in heaven now, so I added to that. Why not make a fortune so you could be blessed enough to be a blessing to so many others? And that's really what this is all about. And that's what you've been doing, Doc. And I appreciate you, man. And
I get one more, just one more.
oh, of course. For you, of course. You
Hey,
stand up, man. Listen.
well, no, when you said Jim Rohn, you reminded me of my brother. Well, I should say my adopted brother, Mark Twain.
Okay.
He said the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you found out why. But I had a third, just like you did.
Come on.
The
With that.
day you do something about that.
Ooh, come on now. You're
Because
right. You're right. Because so many people know their purpose, but they're not doing anything with it.
they're not living it, they're not doing it, and they're complaining about it on top of it. They go, I know what I'm supposed to do, but this is what I would do. Like, do it. And by the way, the biggest lesson I can leave with is if you really care about being successful, then don't stop.
Mm,
It happens. It just happens. It's a miracle how it happens.
wow.
The hardest day is the day it actually gives up being a
Mm,
fit. It is. It's crazy. But
wow.
the reason that the author-thon, all those things that you've been with me, and that let's be very vulnerable here. There have been massive chaos and faults in that. There were lots of problems, but you grinned and bared it because you knew I was going bigger than that. You knew I was going, this was just a tester. And so, how many times are you willing to test to not create perfection, but to create value? That's it, just value.
Well, the main one of the main principles I teach, Doc, that you live out. Of course, you have to, and that is you got to be committed to the process of being bad, feeling bad, looking bad for as long as it takes to get good. And when you have that kind of commitment, you can get good at anything, right? So,
Mhm.
the story I would close with is, this whole thing. I got a call from the first guy I ever led to Christ and mentored in martial arts and was even a Bible college professor at a college he quit, but we forgave him because he made millions and helped a lot of people. But Myron Golden, he called me, he said, Doc, I'm coming in Texas there. And so the Friday he came in, he was doing some conference. I said, man, I'm busy that day, but then Saturday is going to be the second day. I said, tell you what, I'm just starting a new challenge, man. I said, but after I'm done speaking, I'll come, right? And then he said, then I'll be in church Sunday preaching for Dr. Tony Evans. We can connect. I said, okay, but I'll come Saturday. So I teach Saturday, and that's June the 1st, the day I started this. I got the idea of how to make an extra 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less to help people not to go through a summer slump, right? But to get a breakthrough and jump. And so I'm driving down while I speak, and people are like, oh, that was so good. This one guy said he was like 73. He said, I've never heard anything like that, man. It's the best I've heard in my 73 years. I was like, wow. So, I'm pretty feeling a little good, and I'm driving down there and I get in there and I'm sitting, he's doing this, about 350 people. He's speaking there, and about an hour and a half later, he gives people an opportunity to buy his package that would help them further along. And so he wanted me to come to his room afterwards so we talk. And make a long story short, I said, man, I said, man, you probably gonna laugh at me. He said, what, Doc, what are you talking about? I wouldn't laugh at you. I said, no, I just came up with this challenge about making an extra 9K to 90K and or more in 90 days or less. And I was feeling pretty good. I come down here and you told me you just made 900,000. It actually was 970,000. He found out they didn't count it all right. So I said, so in an hour and a half, you made $970,000. I said, so don't laugh about my challenge. He said, Doc, why would I? He said, no, you said how to make extra 9K to 90K or more. So he said 970,000 is more than 90K. And then you said in 90 days or less. So an hour and a half is less than, he said, that's just confirmation. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But again, like you said, it's about thinking bigger because I remember the guy, loaning him money and sometimes not even loaning him, just giving him money. And my previous wife, we were married 26 years, and unfortunately, we went through a divorce, but thank God he allowed me to find Nadia, and that was, man, like heaven on earth. But anyway, but she would get mad at me. But I was like, no, I see something in this young man. And that's one of the things I love about this, is that somehow when we don't always see what's in us, God will put other people around to see. Now, by the way, he was a believer in himself. And I still remember him one day saying, I think one day, he said, no, he said, one day I'm going to be better than Tony Robbins speaking. And I'm like, well, you could do that. But, inside I'm thinking, that's pretty lofty goal, dude. But now I'd rather hear him, so that's the same thing for you watching, folks. Dr. Ken had no idea he would be where he is, doing the thing he's doing now, and he's probably be scared to death if God will show him what he's going to be doing, even his son carrying on the legacy. So I know you got something else to say, Doc. Let you say it,
So,
and we'll be done.
so, yeah, I want you to have the last words, but when you say all that beautiful stuff, my mind's listening and cranking, right? So I got two things to say, and they're really short, and then you bring it out because you're the host. But I want you to know this could not come out if you're not bringing out more gems. And I
Mm,
think the best thing I can share with you is that in the world we're in right now, if you see competition, you're in scarcity. If you see collaboration, you're in abundance. And you have a wife that is a publisher. That doesn't stop me from loving you or loving your wife because I'm in abundance. How can I serve you? Because her publishing company is serving leaders. And for me to say she's competition is to say, I'm threatened by her making more leaders. That's a dumb thing to be. That's
mm.
number one. Number two, I've been published for this, and this is potentially one of my proudest marks because I have not beaten it in 4 years, is the definition of the perfect partnership. The perfect partnership is when two or more people agree verbally or in writing to compete to unconditionally give more than the other.
Man, wait a minute. Nadia and I got a contest to see who can love each other the most. And I always say, baby, I'm winning. She's like, no, no, big boy, it's time. Man, that is so good. And you're right, because our divine alignments are the things that empower us to fulfill our purposeful assignment. And you're right. That's why I say collaboration. That's dog eat dog. That's the way of the jungle. Higher level cooperation. That's the way of civilization. But the highest level, which you just broke down so eloquently, the way of the kingdom is collaboration. Because one to chase 1,000, two will put 10,000 in flight. What could 10, 15, 100 do? And your 100 author challenge, your smaller, I mean, bro, man, you bad to the bone. No, good to the bone. How you doing? So, well, thank you, man. And again, thank you for what you're doing to your son, man, the lives that you're pouring into. And thank you for pouring into our audience tonight. Doc, we appreciate you. Somebody wants to contact you or follow you. What information would you like to give them? How can they contact you, follow up with you, or what would you like to give?
Two simple ones: IG at Book Dr. Smiley, and YouTube Book Dr. Smiley. And by the way, check out Dr. Stan's show. He's been on my channel twice, and you're going to be on the third time, I think, in a week. That's the big show. Remember the big show we did?
Yes, sir.
I think it drops in a week. And by the way, that show was epic.
Wow.
Epic. Bro, I'm telling you, that show, I'm going to blow the world up with that show. You brought it so high. So thank you.
No, we bought it. See, when you change the I to we, it turns the word illness to wellness. We welcome it.
That was a great show, though. I loved having you on my show. Loved it.
Thank you, brother. Something that kindred energy and kindred spirit. And we always competing to see who could compliment each other the most. Anyway. Well, thank you, Dr. Smiley. Appreciate you. And folks, come on now. Listen, check him out, look him up, follow him. And if you're an author, listen, check out, you want to be part of the Authorathon, you want to be part of the Smileathon. And if you need a book published, look him up. Hey, God bless you. Thank you, Dr. Ken. Dr. Smiley. Oh, wait a minute. Keep smiling.